You've been told your whole life that hating this world is wrong, that if you feel disgust at the way things are, there must be something broken in you, that you should learn to be grateful, to accept things as they are, to calm down, smile, and play along. But you were never been able to. Every time you tried, the world felt even uglier. Every time you forced yourself to comply, the prison walls only closed in tighter. And so quietly, you began to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why do I hate this world so much when everyone else seems content to live inside lies? Here's the truth: there's nothing wrong with you. You hate this world because you were never meant to belong to it. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here. And you're right, you don't. You are a Catharsian. Look around you. The world is rotting, and everyone pretends not to smell it. The 9 to 5 prison, the endless consumption, the shallow conversations, the fake smiles, the empty victories. You see it, don't you? And you cannot unsee it. This world has been built on lies, and most people are happy to swallow those lies because it keeps them comfortable. But you were never meant for comfort. You were meant for truth. And that truth burns. It burns inside your chest. That's why you hate this world. Not because you're broken, but because you are awake. Are you a Catharsian? Take the quiz below to find out. From the moment you were young, you felt like something was off. The games the others played, the rules they followed, the dreams they were taught to chase, they never made sense to you. You tried to play along for a while. You tried to wear the mask. You tried to silence the voice in your chest that said, "This isn't real." But the mask suffocated you. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here because you don't. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. Most people nab themselves. They accept their fate. They convince themselves that this is all there is, but not you. When you see the lies of the world, you don't just sigh and look away. You rage. You rage because the lies insult your intelligence. You rage because the cages insult your soul. You rage because the ugliness of this world mocks the beauty you know it's possible. Your rage is not a flaw. Your rage is recognition. That's why you hate this world, because you are not asleep in it. They want you to believe that if you just try harder, you'll fit in. If you just adjust, comply, obey, you'll finally feel like everyone else. But haven't you noticed? No matter how hard you try, it never works. You still feel alien, disconnected, misplaced, because you were never meant to belong here. That's why you've been misunderstood. That's why you feel like you don't belong here. Because your belonging is not in this world. It is in the Catharsian truth that lives beneath it. Download now your free guide, 10 Signs You Were Never an Ordinary Soul. You'll find in the description. People sense your difference. They can't explain it, but they feel it. That's why they attack you. That's why they gossip about you. That's why they're obsessed with you. That's why they try to shame you back into silence, because your very existence threatens the illusion they cling to. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. and the world knows it. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here. Your hatred of this world isn't new. It's not even fully yours. It's memory. It's the voice of your blood, remembering the tribes that came before you, the ancestors who lived free, the warriors who refused cages. It's not history, it's your memory. When you reject the world, you are not rebelling, you are remembering. You are reconnecting with the Catharsian code that has lived inside you all along. So, if you don't belong to this world, why were you born into it? Because this is the battlefield. This is where the illusion is strongest. This is where the Catharsians must rise. You were sent here to disrupt, to awaken, to burn the veil, and remind others of who they really are. That's why you hate this world, because you see the lies. Your soul remembers a freer one, a freer world, and you will not rest until you bring it back. Spirituality has tried to domesticate you. It told you to be calm, to meditate your rage away, to smile at suffering as if it's holy, but you cannot be tamed. Your rage is sacred. Your hatred of this world is not darkness, it is light refusing to bow to lies. That's why you've been misunderstood, because they want you soft, but you were born fire. Download now your free guide 10 signs you were never an ordinary soul. Hatred has been demonized, but your hatred is not destruction, it is awakening. It is the signal that you will not accept the world as it is. It is proof that your soul remembers how things should be. If you hate this world, it's because you are ready to awaken. It is because you are already awakening. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here. You don't belong to this world. But you do belong somewhere. You belong with the Catharsians. You're a Catharsian leader. The ones who hate this world because they see beyond it. The ones who refuse the cages. The ones who burn with memory, rage, and sacred fire. You belong with the forgotten tribes reborn. Say this again until it becomes your blood, your breath, your identity. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here because you don't. If you hate this world, it means you are awake. It means you see what others deny. It means you carry memory, fire, and truth that this world cannot contain. You are never ordinary. You feel like you don't belong here because you are not of this world. You're a Catharsian leader.